Now we will create a new endpoint in our book controller, which will be for searching any book with the ID. Okay, so for that I will first use the annotation get mapping. Then I will create a method public which will return one book object. Okay, so book uh, get by ID, right? Then we have to pass um, one parameter which will be ID. So I will use here path variable to get that parameter from the URL itself, uh, integer ID. Okay, and here in the get mapping, I will provide the URL level forward slash. After book, this will be forward slash. There will be one argument ID. That's it. So when we, what will happen when we enter the URL uh, forward slash book, then forward slash one, then what it will do, this method will run, and it will provide the name and the author of that book. So first we need to return it. So return, and I will again use repository here. Then it will I will use method which is find by ID. Okay, so find by ID, and I will pass this ID here. That's it. Or what we can do, since this option is may return a book, because it may happen that that book containing this ID number is not in the database, right? So what it will not return the null. So to solve this issue, what we will do, we will take here an optional, right? Sorry, optional type of book. So it may return or may not return a value. So I will simply use optional here, optional book. Okay, this way, if it returns the value, that's good. It will get stored in this book reference. And if it doesn't return the value, so it will not throw any event time exception. Okay, now we will go to our book application and run it. So application has successfully started. And now I will go to the Postman. Okay, in the Postman, I will first we have to add some books again because it is a memory database. So whenever we restart our application, everything which we have stored is erased. Okay, so I will run the post method with the body here, and in body I will provide raw body. So, okay, so send first book added with ID 1. I will change it again to something whatever. Okay, then here I will simply remove it and again send. So two books have been added. Now if I want to with get all the books, I will simply run this localhost 8080 forward slash book. So it will run this get method. It will run our get method in the controller and list all the books in the database. Now if we want to get the book by ID, I will simply provide the parameter which is 1. Now let's see if okay. So it provided me the book with ID 1. If I do it for 2, and it is providing me the ID 2, right? Book with the ID 2. Next, I will create a delete mapping to delete any book stored in the database. For that, we have delete mapping annotation. Then simply create one void function. This function will not return anything. Public void delete book. And which book do we want to delete? We have to take it as a parameter, right? Again, the ID of that book parameter. Oh, sorry, path variable. Path variable, which will be integer ID again. And here we have to provide the URL for it. And ID And this method, what will do, it will simply, uh, I will use repository, then it will simply delete by ID, and I will provide the ID here. And we, since this method I declared it as void, I do not have to return the statement. And we have now created the delete mapping for the book. Once again, I will go back to my book application. I will rerun it. Okay, our application has ran successfully. Now I will go to Postman and I will provide one book name, uh, and here JRR. I will run the post method, not here, only in the book, and that's it. So one book added. Again, I will change it. Two books added. Again, I will modify it more. And then three books have been added. And to check them, I will run the get method. Here, three books have been added. And let's suppose I want to delete book with number 2, with ID 2, right? So I will simply here /2, and I will run the delete method here. Okay. You see, no return has been provided by the controller because we declared that method as void. But if we go to our books again, you can see that the book with the ID number 2 has been deleted, right? Only two books are here. ID number 1 and ID number 2, 3.